Firelight Adventures, Detective Series. Book 1, The Vanishing Bell. The four friends sat cross-legged around the crackling campfire behind Alex and Chris's house. The sky was the color of deep blueberry jam, and the first stars were just blinking on. Every night after dinner, if the weather was kind, they built their little fire in the old stone ring their dad had made, and they told stories, real ones, the kind that happened to them and nobody else. Alex, 11 years old and already taller than most sixth graders, poked the fire with a long stick. His dark hair fell over serious eyes that never seemed to miss anything. Next to him, 9-year-old Chris bounced on his knees, unable to sit still even when the night was cool. Chris's grin could light a room all by itself. Across the flames sat Barrett and little Emma. Barrett, also 11, had brought his notebook as usual, the one with the leather cover that said, "Case Files," in careful marker. He adjusted his glasses and tried to look calm, but his foot tapped a secret excited rhythm. Emma, 7 and full of fireworks, hugged her knees and kept sneaking glances at Alex whenever the fire popped and made his face glow gold. She thought nobody noticed. Everyone noticed. "This is the first official meeting of the Firelight Detectives," Barrett announced, flipping open his notebook. "And we already have our first real case." Chris leaned forward so fast he almost tipped into the fire. "Tell them." Alex gave his younger brother a cautionary big brother look, then nodded. "Go ahead, Barrett." Barrett cleared his throat like a news reporter. Today at school, during morning recess, Tommy Hargrove disappeared. Emma gasped theatrically. "Poof. Gone." "Not poof," Barrett corrected. "He was on the playground 1 minute, kicking his red ball against the brick wall like always, and the next minute the bell rang and he wasn't in line. Teachers looked everywhere, the bathrooms, the nurse, the cafeteria, even the parking lot. Nothing. Tommy just vanished." Chris's eyes went round. "That's only 6 hours ago." Alex's voice was low and steady. "The police came. They're still looking. But we know the school grounds better than any grown-up." Emma raised her hand like she was in class. "And we're smaller. We can fit places they can't." Barrett tapped his pencil. "Exactly. The Firelight Detectives accept the case." They doused the campfire carefully. Alex insisted on the 3-bucket rule, and the four of them crept through the dark backyard, flashlights bobbing like orange fireflies. They reached school just as the moon climbed high enough to turn the playground silver. The gates were chained, but Chris knew the loose spot in the fence behind the kindergarten yard. One by one they wriggled through. The playground felt different at night, swings hanging still like frozen ghosts, the merry-go-round creaking softly though nobody pushed it. Emma stayed close to Alex, pretending it was because she was cold. "Where do we start?" Chris whispered. Barrett shone his flashlight on the brick wall where Tommy always played. "Clues first. Look for anything that doesn't belong." They spread out. Chris and Emma checked the 4 square courts. Barrett examined the hopscotch grids. Alex walked the perimeter slowly, eyes scanning the ground. Minutes later Emma squeaked, "Guys. Over here." She stood by the big oak tree near the basketball hoop, pointing up. High in the branches hung Tommy's red ball, caught perfectly between 2 limbs. Chris whistled. No way he kicked it that high. Alex studied the trunk. There. He aimed his flashlight at fresh scratches in the bark, little nicks climbing up like ladder marks. "Someone climbed this tree." Barrett looked worried. "Tommy's afraid of heights. His mom told the police he won't even go on the monkey bars." Emma hugged herself. "Then who climbed it?" A soft rustle came from above. 4 flashlights snapped upward. Perched on a thick branch sat a small figure in a familiar striped shirt. "Tommy?" Alex called quietly. The boy's face appeared, pale in the moonlight. I am up here," he whispered, voice shaky. "I can't get down." Chris almost laughed with relief. "You're not missing. You're stuck." Tommy's lip trembled. "I didn't mean to climb so high. I saw something shiny way up here and I wanted to get it before the bell, then I looked down and my legs froze." Emma bounced. "You climbed for treasure? That's actually super brave." Barrett was already thinking. "We need a plan to get him down safely." Alex stayed calm, the way he always did when things got real. "Chris, you're the best climber. Up you go. I'll steady the lower branches. Barrett, call his mom on your phone, tell her we found him and to meet us at the front gate. Emma, you stay on the ground and be our spotlight." Everyone moved at once. Chris scampered up the trunk like a squirrel, chattering cheerfully to keep Tommy calm. "Almost there, buddy. You picked the best tree in the whole school, did you know that?" Emma aimed her flashlight perfectly, the beam never wavering even though her arm got tired. Barrett spoke quietly to Tommy's mom, giving directions without panic. Alex braced the trunk with his shoulder, testing each branch before he let Chris put weight on it. When Chris finally reached Tommy, he looped an arm around the smaller boy's waist. "Gotcha. Close your eyes if you want. I'll be your elevator." Getting down took longer than going up. Twice Tommy's sneaker slipped and Chris caught him. Alex guided every foot placement from below. At last Chris hopped the final 4 feet to the ground and set Tommy gently on the grass. Tommy's knees buckled. Emma caught one arm, Alex the other. Tommy looked up at Alex with huge eyes. "Thanks," he whispered. Headlights swept across the playground, Tommy's mom, running toward them with a teacher and a police officer behind her. There were tears and hugs and many thank yous. Later, after statements and hot chocolate in the school office, the 4 Firelight detectives walked home under the stars. Barrett carried the shiny thing Tommy had risked everything for, an old silver dollar someone must have dropped years ago, now polished bright by the wind. Chris spun it on his finger. Case closed in under an hour. Not bad for night one. Emma yawned, leaning just a little against Alex's sleeve. "Do you think every mystery will be this easy?" Alex smiled, a rare, full smile that made the moonlight look dim. "Probably not. But we'll solve them anyway." Barrett closed his notebook with a satisfied snap. Firelight detectives, 1 missing kid found, 0 grown-ups needed. Chris raised the silver dollar to the sky. To more adventures. They all bumped fists in the dark. Back home, they rebuilt the campfire just long enough to warm their hands and retell the story one slow time, the way you turn a perfect day over in your mouth before sleep. Emma's eyes drooped first. She curled up on the big log, head dangerously close to Alex's shoulder. He let her stay there without saying a word. Chris poked the embers. "Tomorrow we should make an official headquarters. Maybe the old garden shed." Barrett was already sketching plans in his notebook by firelight. Alex looked around at his brother, his best friends, and little Emma snoring softly against his jacket, and felt something settle warm in his chest, the certainty that whatever came next, they would face it together.